Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you are a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. There are basically two types of people. People who accomplish things, and people who claim to have accomplished things. The first group is less crowded. When people do not respect us, we are sharply offended, yet in his private heart no man much respects himself. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. Work consists of whatever a body is obliged to do. Play consists of whatever a body is not obliged to do. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities, truth isn't. It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you are a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius, and a lot of courage, to move in the opposite direction. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. The only source of knowledge is experience. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Imagination is more important than knowledge. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health, or we suffer in soul, or we get fat. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. Morality is of the highest importance, but for us, not for God. In the small matters trust the mind, in the large ones the heart. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. From error to error, one discovers the entire truth. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. A man should not strive to eliminate his complexes, but to get into accord with them. They are legitimately what directs high conduct in the world. Just as no one can be forced into belief, so no one can be forced into unbelief. The virtuous man contents himself with dreaming that which the wicked man does in actual life. The only person with whom you have to compare yourself is you in the past. The mind is like an iceberg, it floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. Thought is action in rehearsal. Friendship is an art of keeping distance, while love is an art of intimacy. In the small matters trust the mind, in the large ones the heart. Time spent with cats is never wasted. People do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. The first human who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. A particularly beautiful woman is a source of terror. As a rule, a beautiful woman is a terrible disappointment. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, there love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. The healthy man does not torture others, generally it is the tortured who turn into torturers. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol or morphine or idealism. The word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. It all depends on how we look at things, and not how they are in themselves. Man needs difficulties, they are necessary for health. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved but only outgrown. For a young person, it is almost a sin, or at least a danger, to be too preoccupied with himself, but for the aging person, it is a duty and a necessity to devote serious attention to himself. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. Life itself has no rules. That is its mystery and its unknown law. What you call knowledge is an attempt to impose something comprehensible on life. The free soul is rare, but you know it when you see it, basically because you feel good, very good, when you are near or with them. An intellectual says a simple thing in a hard way. An artist says a hard thing in a simple way. If you're losing your soul and you know it, then you've still got a soul left to lose. Genius might be the ability to say a profound thing in a simple way. Some people never go crazy, what truly horrible lives they must live. If you want to know who your friends are, get yourself a jail sentence. There are women who can make you feel more with their bodies and their souls, but these are the exact women who will turn the knife into you right in front of the crowd. Of course, I expect this, but the knife still cuts. I don't hate them, I just feel better when they're not around. Sometimes you climb out of bed in the morning and you think, I'm not going to make it, but you laugh inside, remembering all the times you felt that way. You have to die a few times before you can really live. If a woman lacks sex for a long time, soon she will begin to understand that she wants more. The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. People with no morals often consider themselves more free, but mostly they lack the ability to feel or love. We don't even ask happiness, just a little less pain. Things get bad for all of us, almost continually, and what we do under the constant stress reveals who/what we are. There are times when those eyes inside your brain stare back at you. The difference between a democracy and a dictatorship is that in a democracy you vote first and take orders later. In a dictatorship you don't have to waste your time voting. Too often the people complain that they have done nothing with their lives and then they wait for somebody to tell them that this isn't so. Love is all right for those who can handle the psychic overload. It's like trying to carry a full garbage can on your back over a rushing river of piss. If you have the ability to love, love yourself first. It's better to do a dull thing with style than a dangerous thing without it. There is nothing that teaches you more than regrouping after failure and moving on. Yet most people are stricken with fear. They fear failure so much that they fail. They are too conditioned, too used to being told what to do. It begins with the family, runs through school and goes into the business world. Time is a created thing. To say, I don't have time, is like saying, I don't want to. To attain knowledge, add things every day. To attain wisdom, remove things every day. He who conquers others is strong, he who conquers himself is mighty. He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough. Man's enemies are not demons, but human beings like himself. At the center of your being you have the answer. You know who you are and you know what you want. Knowing others is wisdom, knowing yourself is enlightenment. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. Be content with what you have, rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Do the difficult things while they are easy and do the great things while they are small. A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. Man's enemies are not demons, but human beings like himself. Do the difficult things while they are easy and do the great things while they are small. A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. Life and death are one thread, the same line viewed from different sides. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them, that only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. At the center of your being you have the answer. You know who you are and you know what you want. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Care about what other people think and you will always be their prisoner. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. Think constantly on the changes of the elements into each other, for such thoughts wash away the dust of earthly life. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. You must build up your life action by action, and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible, and no one can keep you from this. This is the mark of perfection of character, to spend each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, laziness, or any pretending. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Our life is what our thoughts make it. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself in your way of thinking. Whatever time you choose is the right time. Not late, not early. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man. There is nothing permanent except change. Good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. Protracted and patient effort is needed to develop good character. If you do not expect the unexpected, you will not find it, for it is not to be reached by search or trail. A man's character is his fate. God is day and night, winter and summer, war and peace, surfeit and hunger. Justice will overtake fabricators of lies and false witnesses. Eyes and ears are poor witnesses to people if they have uncultured souls. Men who wish to know about the world must learn about it in its particular details. To do the same thing over and over again is not only boredom, it is to be controlled by rather than to control what you do. A man's character is his guardian divinity. The only thing that is constant is change. Much learning does not teach understanding. Allow yourself to think only those thoughts that match your principles and can bear the bright light of day. Day by day, your choices, your thoughts, your actions fashion the person you become. Your integrity determines your destiny. Abundance of knowledge does not teach men to be wise. The content of your character is your choice. Day by day, what you choose, what you think and what you do is who you become. If you do not expect the unexpected, you will not find it, for it is hard to be sought out and difficult. Good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. Protracted and patient effort is needed to develop good character. Man is most nearly himself when he achieves the seriousness of a child at play. Because it is so unbelievable, the truth often escapes being known. There is a good principle which created order, light, and man, and an evil principle which created chaos, darkness, and woman. A man is never as big as when he is on his knees to help a child. Allow not sleep to close your eyes before 3 times reflecting on your actions of the day. What deeds done well, what not, what left undone. As soon as laws are necessary for men, they are no longer fit for freedom. As long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of lower living beings, he will never know health or peace. For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Choose always the way that seems the best, however rough it may be, custom will soon render it easy and agreeable. Concern should drive us into action and not into a depression. No man is free who cannot control himself. Do not go to bed until you have gone over the day 3 times in your mind. Do not spend in excess like one who is careless of what is good, nor be mere, the mean is best in every case. Don't try to cover your mistakes with false words. Rather, correct your mistakes with the examination. Educate the children, and it won't be necessary to punish the men. Friends are as companions on a journey, who ought to aid each other to persevere in the road to a happier life. If you have a wounded heart, touch it as little as you would an injured eye. There are only 2 remedies for the suffering of the soul, hope and patience. If you're asked, what is the silence? Respond, it is the first stone of the wisdom's temple. Let no one persuade you by word or deed to do or say whatever is not best for you. Most men and women, by birth or nature, lack the means to advance in wealth or power, but all can advance in knowledge. Numbers have a way of taking a man by the hand and leading him down the path of reason. Respect gods before demigods, heroes before men, and first among men your parents, but respect yourself most of all. The soul of man is divided into 3 parts, intelligence, reason, and passion. Other animals possess intelligence and passion, but reason by man alone. Truth is so great a perfection, that if God rendered himself visible to men, he would choose light for his body and truth for his soul. It is better to be silent than to dispute with the ignorant. Silence is better than unmeaning words. Never trust a friend who speaks badly of his comrades. You should make great things, not promising great things. Time is the soul of this world. Drunkenness is an exercise in madness. Everything becomes a little different as soon as it is spoken out loud. People with courage and character always seem sinister to the rest. Seeking means to have a goal, but finding means to be free, to be receptive, to have no goal. Meaning and reality were not hidden somewhere behind things, they were in them, in all of them. If a man has nothing to eat, fasting is the most intelligent thing he can do. Learn what is to be taken seriously and laugh at the rest. Wisdom cannot be imparted. Wisdom that a wise man attempts to impart always sounds like foolishness to someone else. Knowledge can be communicated, but not wisdom. One can find it, live it, do wonders through it, but one cannot communicate and teach it. Words do not express thoughts very well. They always become a little different immediately after they are expressed, a little distorted, a little foolish. Without words, without writing, and without books there would be no history, there could be no concept of humanity. Those who are too lazy and comfortable to think for themselves and be their own judges obey the laws. Others sense their own laws within them. You must find your dream, but no dream lasts forever, each dream is followed by another, and one should not cling to any particular dream. Nothing in the world is more distasteful to a man than to take the path that leads to himself. Opinions mean nothing, they may be beautiful or ugly, clever or foolish, anyone can embrace or reject them. There are always a few such people who demand the utmost of life and yet cannot come to terms with its stupidity and crudeness.